I'm Renée Sferrazza, your sommelier, bringing amazing wines to your glass. And these are my liquid pleasures. Bold red wines are a hallmark of the holiday season, and for me, they even bring out some of those seasonal aromas, especially if they're aged in oak. You really get that woodiness, those beautiful spices, leathered notes, and dried fruit. So today I'm going to be comparing two wines, bolder ones that fit the season from two totally different worlds. We have from the old world a beautiful Rioja by Bodegas LAN, and from the new world, we're getting into Paso Robles with the Lohr Hilltop Cabernet Sauvignon. When it comes to red wines, my philosophy about bringing multiple to the table and having people enjoy different terroirs in the glass, I like to play around with acidity and tannins. As you're tasting a wine, you'll probably notice your mouth salivating. That's acidity doing its work. When it comes to red wines, each and every single grape has a different level of acidity, some higher and some lower. And acidity can very much help in those food pairing moments. With red wines, we also get tannins just because of the way that the wine is made. As the grape juice is fermented with the grape skins, that pulls out those tannin structures, giving the wine color, but additional structure as well. Playing around with tannins with food and how high, sweet, rustic, or plush they can be can really give a different perspective in the glass, especially when you're tasting through a couple reds. As we taste through both of these wines together today, I want each one to show its best in the glass. So we're going to be tasting from lighter to heaviest, just to show that. And that means up first is the Bodegas LAN Crianza. This is a wine that's from the Rioja region of northern Spain, and it's really well known for its Tempranillo wines, often blended with other native grapes of the region. Bodegas LAN is more of a newcomer to the region. They are not a centenarian winery, but their name is actually an acronym for the three provinces that Rioja sits within. This is their Crianza, and it's on the lighter side of aging. As Rioja wines are really based around this aging structure, you have wines that start at Generico, which used to be Joven, Crianza, Reserva, and Gran Reserva. Crianzas like this one have to have a minimum of 1 year aging in barrel and about 6 months in bottle. But Bodegas LAN goes a little bit farther than that. They are doing 14 months in hybrid barrels, mixing with American oak and French oak, and they're doing 9 months in bottle. So they're really shooting above and beyond. Let's get into the glass here and see what this wine has in store. Started in 1972, Bodegas LAN is really focused on whole ecosystem farming. They're sustainable, and they are making their wines from their home vineyard, Viña Lanciano, all headed up by the amazing winemaker, Maria Barua. In this younger style of Rioja at the Crianza level, we're really getting a lot of ruby perspective when you look in the glass. Quick tip, if you hold your glass at a 45-degree angle, you can really start to see the color a lot better, preferably over a white sheet of paper, but we're gonna do with my table for now. Let's get into the aromas. It's quite an aromatic wine. You're getting a lot of leathered notes from a Crianza, more spices, cherry, tomato leaf, almost this like dried earth perspective. Really quite a beautiful set of fruit and earth perspective coming together. Let's get on to the palate. Really savor that, enjoy it. This is bringing a lot of acidity and brightness. It's making the palate so wet and prepared to enjoy something with it. You also have some structure coming in with those beautiful tannins, but they're a lot more rustic. This means that you're going to be able to pair this wine with a little bit heavier foods than the wine is showcasing on the palate. You get a little bit of lamb in there, some creamier dishes, even some roast eggplant and squash would do great with the Bodegas LAN Crianza. Moving from the old world into the new world, there are endless levels of choices for red wines that you can try. We have famous grapes around the world and regional ones. So moving from a regional production, an indigenous grape within Rioja, let's go to California and try a world-traveling grape instead with Cabernet Sauvignon. Moving into our second wine, California does not just make great Cabernet Sauvignons in Napa. About 5 hours south of it is Paso Robles, and it is a great, wild-hearted place for making big, bold Cabernet Sauvignons. As we're moving up in that boldness, this is our second wine up in our tasting. And like the Rioja, there is some oak aging in here, just like the Bodegas LAN Crianza, but we're on a totally different perspective. Bringing in Cabernet Sauvignon from this warmer region, the Lohr Hilltop really combines vineyards from the Lohr estate, but blends it with some mountain vineyard fruits from the other subregions of Paso Robles. With this, you're getting a wine that is aged for 18 months in mainly new French oak barrels, and it has a touch of Petit Verdot and Malbec in there to really add some depth and complexity into the blend. So while Cab is the star of the show, we are getting something that showcases a little bit different perspective, especially with the terroir of Paso Robles bringing more of a licorice and cola vibe to their Cabernet Sauvignons. Paso Robles might not seem like your first thought when it comes to California Cabernet Sauvignons, but it really was one of the first thoughts that Jerry Lohr, the man behind Lohr, had. He really was part of the people that put Paso Robles on the map. Moving into the region when it first started beginning, this man is an OG, and he really liked Paso because of the massive diurnal shifts in temperature from day to night, the rich soils, and he thought that it would be an amazing place for Bordeaux grape varietals like Cab. And boy, was he right. This is a very unique perspective in the glass, and it really does showcase why Paso Robles can be looked at as a great producer of Cabernet Sauvignon. A totally different side of California in the glass, even from the color when you start to taste the Lohr Hilltop. There is really an opaqueness to it. I cannot see my hand through the wine. And we're getting into aromas that are a lot fruitier and sweeter. Those licorice notes that I had mentioned, those cola notes, they're definitely there. And that's a combination of sweet and spice. At the same time, there's still some nice fruit notes. A little bit of blackberry, blueberry, and cherry, and some wonderful toasted vanilla notes as well. Let's get on to the palate. A lot bigger and bolder. There's some nice acidity in here, lower than the Rioja, but it comes in alongside these beautiful plush and sweet tannins. Really does give a rounder, more voluptuous complexity and structure to the wine. As a sommelier, I am always interested to find out what the wine curious and wine enthusiasts think about these wines. Let me know below which wine you'd be interested in bringing to a party or wrapping up as a gift. Is it the Rioja or is it the Paso Robles? Let me know. Two different wines, two totally different perspectives in the glass, but what both of these wines, the Bodegas LAN Crianza and the Lohr Hilltop, offer are perspectives that you can bring to the holiday. Oak-aged, showcasing terroir. You can find out more about them just by clicking below and where to get them and add them to your holiday season. Give them a try. There are so many red wines of the season, and these are two that'll fit perfectly for the holidays.